Hi guys, it's me the Big B and welcome back to another video. Now today I just want to have a quick chat about something that I've noticed more and more, and something that's becoming a little bit more kind of concerning as time goes on. Now if you watch me back videos, you'll remember the Huff videos and the old controversy and all the crap he caused, and he built the portal device which turned out to be nothing more than a standard guitar amp speaker with some pedals on it that you pump these spirit boxes through. And any of you guys that don't know, basically the pedals just allowed you to add reverb and echo and all that shit, and then when it's pumping out that great big speaker it sounds all echoey and fucking otherworldly, but it's just because it's a fucking big bassy speaker. And he put some wires and fucking knobs onto this thing and fucking bits of shit and crystals, and he said it was the, you know, it was the telephone to play basically the other side, basically. And I know a lot of my friends, we called them out on it, and we proved that it was just a load of bollocks. It's just standard stuff that, you know, people have been using for years. All of us, we've plugged our spirit boxes and our apps and things into bigger speakers, and some people like more echo and reverb, some people don't, but it's nothing new. And we kind of disproved that. A lot of my friends built the damn thing to prove that. They weren't building it to take it seriously. They built it just to say, yeah, it gives, you know, all this lovely bassy sound, but that's all it is. It is nothing special. But as time's gone on, people are, you know, and especially I understand people who are not quite in the know, it's becoming almost like a buzzword. Everybody's building a portal. Everybody's chucking a speaker with a guitar amp on and saying, I built my own portal. My God, it's the thing. It's a speaker. I could plug any device now into a guitar amp, and all it is a big speaker. And yes, it sounds, like I said, all bassy and thing, but it's not giving you extra communication with spirit. It's just a fucking speaker. And now everybody that's building apps, it's like a one I saw thing, the Ghost Box Portal. They stick a portal at the end of everything as if it means something. And all it's doing, all the work that myself and a few others have tried to do to show that, you know, the stuff that Huff's doing is just, it's shit, it's rubbish, it's nonsense. You're giving credence back to him, you're feeding his ego. He's going to be sitting there and thinking like the new buzzword in the paranormals now with the portal, and he's already saying he invented the goddamn thing, that this speaker, this portal that he put together, he invented. He's even brought a new one out now, supposedly a cheaper one, that, you know, Jesus, that, you know, anyone can afford. And he even had these mock-ups of it where he built the damn thing, and all he'd done is he took, again, standard guitar pedals, he'd stripped the paint off, give them a coat of primer, had a fucking drill and stuff on the table to make it look like he built these things, and that's kind of what he was insinuating. And we found, we clearly, some of the guys in the field found the actual pedals that he'd used down to the name and the manufacturer, and that's the type of shit that's happening. You're feeding that ego. No wonder Huff keeps doing this shit, because people keep feeding his ego. And I know, like I say, a lot of my friends, a lot of you guys, I know why you've done it. Like I say, I put a post on Facebook this morning saying, Jesus Christ, portal, everything, and it's annoying us. And a couple of people said, I'm just doing it for the fun. I know the guys that are doing it as genuine piss take. And I'm not getting at you guys, but, you know, come up with another name. Any name. Then goddamn portal. You're just giving Huff basically a friggin' free ride. He's be laughing his cap off at this sort of stuff. And it'll not be long, I'm telling you now, if this continues, that Huff will put another video out and say, see, I invented something. Everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. All the people that sort of like disagreed with us and tried to bring me down, the old thing with portals. Stop calling them fucking portals. It's a speaker. And people that keep popping on these comments and things and saying, oh, what's this? Oh, will this help us communicate with spirit better? No, it won't. It will not. I've been doing this long fucking enough now to know what helps in paranormal communication and what doesn't. And plugging something into a speaker does not make it any more powerful to communicate with spirit. All that that's doing is allowing you, if you like echo and reverb on your things, some people believe that that helps give more sound, gives that cacophony of sound to help spirit communicate, fair enough. And if you like the sound of it, then fair enough. But it's not essential. And it's just one of these subjects that's driving me crazy, guys. And I've watched many people now, and a lot of people agree and disagree with certain people in the field, but like, I watched a video with Moses, Scary Larry. Some people like him, some people hate him, whatever. He tells it how it is. And he put a video out the other day where he's getting ready to just pack it all in. And his main focus for that was Huff. And the shame he's bringing to the paranormal and ITC, that he's just running amok, and certain people are just lapping it up, and it just makes the rest of us look stupid. It's as simple as that. And then he put in his video, well, then we get called haters and we jealous because Huff's so great and we need to bring him down, even though that many in the field that are complaining about Huff's here and they're up here. You know what I mean? They're way ahead of Huff if you want to put things into perspective and you want to talk about people in the field being higher than other people and further forward. Some of the people that try to bring Huff down are way, way above the level of what Huff is and where Huff would like to be, and that's where he's trying to climb to. So they're not jealous. I'm not jealous. Like I said in my other videos, I've done stuff that Huff would love to do. And he's trying to do. He's trying to get on TV. He's trying to get under a paranormal. He'd love a fucking paranormal show. He'd be fucking doolally. That's why he tried to make out that now not only he is basically a portal to the other side, and there's only him being graced with God's gift to talk to spirit, and all the communicating with Jesus and that now, that his house has become a portal, and he's trying to get TV people interested in coming in because his house has become a mega. It's just all a self-made fucking illusion. And it's not hard to see, like what Scary Larry's saying. We saw this, I saw this last year. I was putting videos out against Huff a frigging year ago, and I even called half the stuff, more than half the stuff, I've called 99% of the stuff that he's doing now a year ago, before even Huff had thought of it, because we can see it coming. And I was disillusioned then, but now to see a lot of it, come to fruition, and there's still people lapping it up and believing this guy. And now we have people within the paranormal field, not just Scary Larry, other people who are bowing out of the paranormal because it's just become like a frigging free-for-all, kids in a fucking playground like kindergarten, and slapping each other across the back of the head all the frigging time and attacking each other. And it just turned into a frigging circus. And that's why people are becoming disillusioned and they're leaving. And some of the people that are leaving, are genuinely, good at what they do. And it's sad to see that one guy, basically one guy, I know we're all guilty of causing the drama to keep going and things, but people like me and a couple of other guys who are adamant to try and bring attention towards this, we're not doing it for the drama, we're doing it to try and tell people and get people to think from themselves. Look at what he's doing, it's right in front of you. He's just pure ego and sell. I termed the phrase a year ago, he's basically just a very good car salesman. He's a bloody good salesman, and I give him that credit. And that's something that's kind of stuck, and people that are making videos now against him are basically saying exactly the same thing, that he's just nothing more than a dodgy car salesman. And he's just selling a product. The product was his portal, the product was his apps. If he used an app, he used EchoBox, it was the best fucking thing he'd ever used. It was the best communication tool. Because he had an argument with Danny, because he fell out with Danny, because he found some new toy, that wasn't still good, and I still use that. No. It's now, it doesn't work, it's shit, it's thing, I've got to trash that, and especially when his own apps came along. Everything's there. If you look back through all of his videos, you can see it. And like I said, we called it a year ago, guys. And it's kind of sad, and that's the point of this video. That he coined this phrase, the portal, and he built this bullshit. A few of the guys in the know, and you guys know you are, don't need to name you, you know you are, you built it to prove a point, that it was bullshit. that it didn't cost anywhere near what he said it cost to build, because he said, fucking hell, the price he come out with. And some of my friends sourced the parts, and instead of being something like crazy like $800 to build, it cost them $100 or a couple of $100 at best if they built it part for part. And they were just taking the mick. But I think a few people now are kind of taking, they were building this thing, and I've built a portal of my own. What you've built is a speaker with a couple of effects pedals on. People need to understand that the portal was never real. It was an invention in Huff's mind. It didn't exist. He said that Spirit told him to build the fucking thing. It's a fucking speaker. You know what I mean? Everything's got a speaker. Your fucking mobile phone's got a speaker on it, but that doesn't. I cannot then say, look, oh, it's got a speaker on it. I can put some echo through it. It's a portal. It's not. It's just a speaker, guys, and it just gives a certain sound. It does not open a doorway to the other side. This magical fucking portal that everyone's thinking. And yes, some people are doing it just because it does sound good, as in sound good. I don't kind of like the sound it gives, because when I did the app I did, I've been doing this long enough to know that it's not about giving the spirits actual words. It's about giving them frequencies, sounds. They can even make a voice using the sounds that's in the environment. We've learned that a long time ago. So instead of giving them actual physical words, we give them frequencies, sounds. I used human phonetics, but it was all backwards and gibberish. I didn't give the spirit any actual words that they could just chop together. I gave them frequencies, sounds, vibrations, low bass, medium, ect, ect, ect. So then if I feed that now through one of these portal devices that's actually filtering out certain frequencies, because that's what it does, and then I had a shitload of bass and reverb, I'm losing part of what I've put in there. Yes, you're adding other sounds, but you're kind of taking away rather than giving. And I understand why people want to use them, because it makes it sound all fucking impressive and boomy and bassy and thinging, but you're losing to me more than you're thinking. But I'm not saying to anyone, don't build one of these things. That's not what I'm saying. If you want to get a guitar amp the size of a fucking TV and plug your thing into it and shatter the windows out playing this thing, awesome. It'll probably sound fucking awesome, but it's not opening a doorway to the other side. It is not making the app that you're running on here or your spirit box you're pumping through it any more effective. It's just making it sound loud and bassy and reverby. It's as simple as that. And I just encourage you guys, stop using the word portal, because every time you use the word portal, I'm sure Huff is watching all this stuff just as we watch him, and he'll have his trousers round his ankles, jacking himself off with pure fucking excitement. I know I'm being crude and awful, but I'm passionate about this, and it's annoying us more and more every day. And for all you guys that are watching this, who are on the fence about portals and like what sort of shit you're seeing, I'm going to show you something now. You don't need a fucking big amp speaker or portals or guitar fucking pedals and filters and shit like that. You know, all that stuff's fun to play with and thing. I'm going to show you a device that can communicate with spirit. It's proven to communicate with spirit, and it works. It doesn't need any fancy wires, crystals, fucking, pixie dust or whatever to make it work. It's a fantastic little device. It's on a budget. If you're on a budget, anyone can afford it. And it's absolutely incredible. I'm going to show you one right now. It's even got a speaker in it. It's not a portal though. It's a digital recorder. We've been using these for quite a long time, and before these we were using magnetic media. You're catching a disembodied voice, an intelligent disembodied voices on a simple digital recorder. No echo, no reverb, no portal. Press record, and if there's a spirit that wants to communicate with you, tell it to speak into the little red light. And on many occasions, like many of my colleagues, we've captured Class A EVPs, a voice that comes back out of nowhere, and it answers you intelligently. And I think we need to start going back to basics. Yes, some of the apps are fantastic, but they are what they are. It all started with reel-to-reel tape recorders and magnetic media, and then these. You don't need to plug this into a fucking guitar amp the size of a small family car to make this any different. If I plugged this into a guitar amp, it would fucking sound awesome, and it would vibrate the walls, but it would not let the spirit communicate with me any easier or any less, because he would still just be talking and dropping his voice on here. Adding all the reverb and echo in the world will make no difference. I can walk into a haunted building with one of these, and I've done it in my own home, as many of you guys have, and we've gotten incredible communication, you know, and that's what it's all about. So, you know what I mean? By all means, build your fucking speakers, but give them another name. Don't keep pushing stuff towards Huff. That's the last thing we need. Call it what you want. I mean, I'll give you a name. You all want to build one of these things, I'll give you a name. Because I built a mock-up one, not actually a real one, it was completely useless parts. I'll put a picture of it if I can find it again, but I used this speaker and I bolted a real SP7 spirit box under it and a battery pack and just put wires on it, and I made it look like a thing, and then I put a lens flare on in Photoshop just to take the piss out of the portal when it first came out. It wasn't even a real thing. It wasn't even wired into play through this. It was never meant to be a thing. It was just basically a mock-up, a piss take. And I called it the Gateway. I called it anything rather than call it the fucking portal, because just calling something that, even as a mick take, gives it, you know, gives it credibility almost. That, you know, Huff came out with that terminology, and I didn't want him to say, look, I told you, everyone's on the thing. There's a name for you. Call it the Gateway. Call it anything. Just don't call the damn thing's portal. Don't stick a portal on the end of something and think it makes it any more credible or any more, you know, fanciful. It doesn't. If anything, to the people who have been pushing against this sort of stuff, against Huff doing what he's doing, it just makes us cringe. Every time I see an app that's got the word portal in it, or I see anything that's called a portal, it just makes me fucking cringe. I can't even watch a fucking sci-fi movie and they talk about a portal or a fucking spirit and thing, and my fucking heart sinks, because all I think of is Huff and that fucking box. And that is serious, guys. So, ranted on long enough. There it is. You don't need all this fancy shit. Some of the apps are fantastic. The spirit boxes are fantastic on their own. You don't need to plug them into a fucking stadium speaker or a guitar amp to get any more credible evidence. You can just use your spirit boxes. You can just use your digital recorders. You can use your apps. If you want to pump them through them, by all means, but you do not need them. You don't need it. If you've got the money and you want to splash out, by all means, but you don't need this stuff, guys. Honestly.